Hi friends, today let's understand parameters in Power BI. So how can we utilize parameters in Power BI? So let's grab the data set first. So source data. Let's do this thing. Okay, so let's select the columns. We'll go through colors. Go to think maybe you can go for let's go through some KPI. So, think I'm just looking out for list price. Yeah, this is where list price it is. Product key and then color and then you can choose remove other columns. Okay. So let's take I would want so here I can see different colors, right? Black, silver, and I can see let me go through here. I can have red, silver, black, white, yellow. So like I don't want to work with all these things. I just would like to work only with maybe red for now, just for my data validation. Maybe later on I can I would like to bring some other data. But initially, like right when you want to bring uh, transactional level of data into Power BI, it will take a lot of time to load, and also it will you will get a lot of frustrated because it will take a lot of time to import all your data into Power BI, and also once you write all the DAX functions, and if you're integrating those things into your charts and cross tab whatever it is, it will take long time to render those data. So better ways to get the data, maybe you can just filter out with 1 or 2 years of data, and then maybe you can filter out with different data using this parameter. Try to work with the data, and then maybe you can just limit your data with using parameters, or you can have some filters. So this is one of the use case where you can have these parameters utilized in Power BI. So let me go here. You can see the text filters, right? Okay, equals. And here if you see we have option, right? Equals the new parameter. So this is what dynamic where. So you can go to new parameter. Yeah, and before this thing, I go ahead and check this checkbox. So by default it will not do this checkbox. You just go ahead and do this check, then you can see the parameters, right? And then let me go here and go here equals parameter. Yeah, you can give some name, color, and here you have different types. As of now I would like to go ahead with text, and here also we have different things like any value or list of values or query also, like which we discussed in the previous video, where you can have the query, you can write some M code and you can just use that M code, make it as a dynamic way. So you can have this different options, you can select it out. As of now I'm just using list of values. Let me give this value red, black, white. Let me have red by default, right? Okay, then grab OK. So as soon as you grab OK, As soon as you click on OK, so you can just see here, there is one, you can see the icon which indicates it's a parameter, and you have this drop down button. Whatever values you enter it out. We can also make it as a dynamic way using M code and also using query option. As of now, we just going through this list of values as a static list of values. And let's see, well, as of now it's filtered out with the right, so you can see the data is filtered out with the right. So, and maybe you would like to do some data validation after you're doing all the logics. Let me go to yellow, and you can go here, right? This is what, and also you can go here, and if you want to change anything, you can go to manage parameter. You can do all the changes, and you can do the changes here, and then you can just save it, and maybe you can just, and all these things will be applied here, and you can just test it out in the data visualization part. So by whether all your calculations are working as expected. So this is one of the use case for parameters, right? And also what I would say, let me go here, there is one of the use case, let me go. So suppose if you want to connect to your server, okay, and so let's take, I have three different kind of environments like development, quality, and production, and you would like to have one parameter where you would like to select different kind of environments to test the data, because whatever data we have in development we don't have in production, right? Development generally we used to maintain like less data. Maybe you can do all your development parts there, and you can, and if you want to test your data in actual production before publishing into the Power BI service, so maybe we have one parameter where you can navigate to this different kind of environment. So this is one of the use case where you can just go here, the same process. So actually it's showing the one parameter which we have, but maybe you can go to new parameter, and you can just give the values whatever you have, and here you can have the list of values, or maybe you can have the query directly which is having where we can integrate the URLs of different kind of environments, development, prod, and QA in the query, or maybe you can have the list of values where you can integrate that URLs here, okay, and then grab OK, and instead of here maybe you can use parameter. As of now it's showing color since we have this parameter, but yeah, once you create it, as long as you create it, right, you can have this parameter here, and by default, let's take by default every time it should have this QA or maybe development, and once you've done all the changes and you would like to have check in production, and you can have this thing as a parameter. So this is the best use case when you're wanted to when you're having especially different kind of environments. You can do the testing for all different kind of environments. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about parameters for now. Maybe if you have any questions, feel free to comment it out. Yeah, thank you.